A big warm welcome back again, everybody. Welcome back. Thursday morning here. School trade, sideways markets. Boy, another day looked very similar to the personality on Wednesday, didn't it? Wednesday, what happened yesterday? Slow and sloppy, dollar not moving early, end of the morning, made us all of our money yesterday. This morning, almost the same thing. Now, before we talk about all the trades we took today, before we go over our trading strategies this morning, I do want to remind everyone this material is for educational purposes only. Please remember there is risk out there in these markets. I want everyone to have a great experience as a day trader. It's so easy to miss the little details that can cost you some big profits. Nothing worse than being underprepared, undercapitalized, right? Not being ready to take the trades when they come. As a member, I'm going to train you in all this. As a member, I'm going to give you every piece of information you need, every piece of tool, every technique. I'll give you a trade plan to follow. Members will have all the information they need to replicate these results and trade right along with me every day in the trade room. So please remember, be careful with your risk capital, and welcome here. Welcome. Now this morning, what happened this morning? We began our day knowing we had some important news right off the bat today, didn't we? So we were very optimistic this morning that we may get a bunch of action today. Very optimistic starting the day here with the ECB press conference and the 8:30 jobless claims. We talked about this earlier today, how we thought we might get a little bit of a sluggish reaction to jobless claims because of non-farm payrolls tomorrow. So non-farm payrolls tomorrow, always going to be a big clue. Whenever I have a big news event the next morning, early afternoon and late mornings always going to be sloppy. Now we have reason to believe today, though, that traders are a little bit skeptical of these jobless claims reports until we see how many jobs are actually being added tomorrow morning at 8:30. So I think that's what ultimately was under the skin, under the surface of this market personality this morning. We then had 9 o'clock. We had the Bank of Canada rate decision. Again, there was a lot of reasons why this market should have gotten moving early. But there was an even bigger reason why traders might have been sitting on hands this morning, right? Non-farm payrolls tomorrow morning. By the time we got through 9:30, we had nothing happening. Market was still sleeping here at 9:30. It wasn't until after 10:30 that we finally started getting some action this morning out of these markets. Amazing how similar one day was to the next here on pretty much everything we were trading. Now we made some pretty good profit today. Here's our review of the trades we took today. You'll notice I got my butt kicked on crude today. Crude was just a little bit rude this morning to me. You can see pretty much opened my day in the red. Had that big winner on the euro that made all that money back, but crude I just couldn't get anything to work on crude today. And days like this are going to happen. My secret is my trade management. I take a quick +5 target. Move my stop to entry -5. I take a second target of +10, and then I let it run. Well, normally what happens is if I take my trade properly, using my entry rules, using my triggers, I'll usually get that +5 relatively quickly. If I don't, something's wrong. And then that means the trade will either keep going, +5, +10, then the runner, or maybe the trade reverses, it stops me out at a +5, then a -5 for my stop. So having an aggressive entry requires a trade management strategy that can account for being aggressive. If I'm going to be aggressive getting into trades, higher risk, faster time frames, like I did today, then I need to be aware that I have to sacrifice just extending a runner to make sure that I take a little bit of profit first, tighten up that stop, eliminate some of the risk, and give myself a position here where I can still profit from the trade. I can still make money in the trade if it goes in my direction, but if it doesn't go in my direction, I'm not going to lose money at least. So the key today was, you'll notice up top here, I definitely got my first target pretty consistently today, but then the price reversed against me and took me out. So yesterday morning, we didn't even take any trades till 10:30. This morning, though, you can see, started off a little bit earlier, maybe a little bit overconfident, and took some losses. So the crude, difficult today. Now the euro, this one was the one, thank heavens for the euro. Euro gave us a beautiful wave long, 21 range. It was a fast track, 31 ticks. It's a big winner. and the Russell. Russell also gave us a wave long. Very similar patterns, the Russell and the Euro. Russell, a big winner as well. And you can see everything else kind of sloppy and choppy. So how do we have a day where we have 4 losses and 4 winners and still make all this cash? The proper trade management. Members, if you have any questions right now about the proper trade management, remind me in today's training, bring in some specific questions, and we'll gladly go over any specific topics you have about trade management. Okay, we'll go really under the surface and dig into all the trades we took today in training. We'll talk auto trader today in training, whatever you guys need. So let's go back to our morning prep now. Since I'm not a big believer in hindsight, how did we take these trades?